right, hello y'all. Today is Thursday, October 8th, and back in a long time ago, 1882, when Harry Kirby McClintock was born. Old, famous kind of old country folk singer from back in the early 20th century, with a song called Goodbye Old Paint on his birthday about Cheyenne is a town in Wyoming that is actually an old traditional, like it's in the country or western. I think the Cowboy Hall of Fame, that's what it is labeled that as one of the 100 most important and influential cowboy songs, and that's about going from Cheyenne, Wyoming, which is an important cattle hub, moving Montana. Interesting enough, that was I think their image of cowboys is like blonde hair, blue-eyed, tall white guy in the saddle, which obviously those were cowboys as well too. But actually, a quarter to a third of all cowboys in like the late 1900s or late 1800s, late 19th century, were actually African American. A lot of them were slaves after the Civil War that went west. There was a lot of Mexicans who were cowboys. Actually, the tradition of cowboying came to the United States from Mexico via Spain, via Saudi Arabia, and via the Middle East. So there's horses and stuff. There's a long tradition, of course, to come from the Middle East, from even farther east. So cowboying is not, there's an American version of it, but it definitely has roots way back in the history of mankind, all the way back to Asia and the Mongols and stuff. At any rate, it was a guy named Charlie Willis who wrote that song, who was a famous black cowboy who was renowned for supposedly he could sing and keep the cattle at peace with his voice. It was so good. So that's a really famous song called Goodbye Old Paint by Harry McClintock on his birthday. So speaking of birthdays, statistically this is very odd. There is no student birthdays nor staff birthdays. So of the 700 people or so we got associated with Crockett, no one has a birthday. So every now and then we get that happen. There's also in 1895 Juan Perón birthday. He is going to be a dictator, populist, kind of who's going to become president, leader of Argentina for 3 times in the 1900s, leading to a very famous musical, Don't Cry For Me, Argentina. But yeah, Juan Perón, at one point I was really interested in what am I going to focus my study on, and I was really considering studying Argentinian history. So it's fascinating. Juan Perón, not the best guy, but a really important figure in South American and world history. Right? All right, 1943, R.L. Stine was born. And some of y'all, a lot of y'all I know, love the Goosebumps. Ooh, Goosebumps. Ooh. He is the author of Goosebumps, among other lots of other books. He has sold more than 400 million books. So write that out and see how many zeros you get if you can do it. That's a whole 400 million. That's a whole lot of books. So y'all know, I like to see y'all reading, so there you go. It is also Canadian Thanksgiving. I guess they do it early, right? It is also World Space Week, and y'all probably figured out by now, I am fascinated by space and space travel and stars and all the stuff out there. So look up at the sky. It's a pretty cool thing to do. Look up at some constellations. Try to go out in the country, look at some stars. And like, if you ever get out west of, under Kerrville Junction out there, and even out towards Big Bend, it's just amazing how many stars are out there. And just think, like, before we had all these lights in the cities, that's what, if you ever see how many stars there really are out there, it is amazing to see. It is just, it's Earth, just takes your breath away. And just to think that used to be what it was like everywhere before we had all these lights. So just, it put some perspective on me. So I love looking at the sky and checking out. We see Venus and Mars and planets and stuff like that. So check out the night sky sometimes. It's good for you. And especially during World Space Week. All right, what are we going to do? We're going to finish on the 4-way test. The 4-way test are the things we think, say, or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will be beneficial to all concerned. Our virtue this month is friendliness. How are you showing friendliness, Crockett? Hope you've been good to each other. Hope you've been good to your family. Hope you've been good to people you see in the street wave. Be good to your teachers. They're awesome. They're working real hard. And I also promised Miss Aribe that I would, she sent me some friendliness quotes to read. So I'm going to see if I can't find one. Glad I remembered that. Friendliest quotes. I'll do a random one. Who do we got? Here you go. Here's some Mother Teresa, the famous nun who went to India and served a lot of people in need, and just, gave of herself. Really good message. And here's a good quote from her. Spread love everywhere you go. Let no one ever come to you without leaving happier. So there you go. Y'all be good to each other, and say hi when you see me in the hall or on Zoom chat, and know I'm missing you. Bye, guys.